Hey guys, welcome to my Star Wars Episode 7 spoiler-filled video where I break down some of the major plot points of Star Wars Episode 7 and I spoil the shit out of it. Warning, if you don't want this movie spoiled for you and you can't read the title of the video, leave now. Or if you don't give a shit, stick around, it's going to be a good time. And by the way, on a quick side note, I know nobody right now on the internet cares about Star Wars Episode 7. No one's talking about this movie. Everyone right now is screaming at their computer monitors, where's your Alvin and the Chipmunks road trip movie review? And I'm just like, burn in hell! You were supposed to be the chosen one. And by the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to do a very special unboxing of this Geek Fuel box right here. It's Star Wars themed. There's a lot of awesome stuff in it, and I like opening up boxes. Star Wars Episode 7. Now, I already have a 14-minute non-spoiler review of this movie up on my channel. I'll put a link to that video down below, just in case I miss a certain aspect of the movie. I probably already covered it in that previous video, so yeah, check that out, link down below. Now, the first thing I have to talk about in this movie is Han Solo dies! That's right, it's a very sad day in the Star Wars galaxy. Han Solo is no more. We will not see Han Solo back for any of the sequels of Star Wars. But you know what? On a positive note, Harrison Ford himself has said this. He wanted the character of Han Solo to die off in the original trilogy back in the 1980s. So I can only assume when Harrison Ford agreed to come back for Episode 7, he's like, you guys either kill me or I'm not coming back. And they're like, we're gonna fucking kill you, dude. And they did. Now, how do I feel about Han Solo dying off? Well, I think it's the emotional impact that this movie needed. You needed to take a big character and end them in this movie to give that movie that dramatic impact it needs. Now, as much as I love the character of Han Solo, his character's role, it was essentially over. His character didn't really have much more to do beyond Episode 7, so ending his character when they did, well, I think it was the logical standpoint. Now, do I have a few small complaints about the way Han Solo dies in this movie and his overall death scene? Yeah, I have a few nitpicky complaints, but first, let's talk about Kylo Ren, the son of Han Solo. That's right, Kylo Ren is the son of Han Solo and Princess Leia in this film, and for me, that makes sense. I like that aspect about this movie. Even though I read those rumors 2 months before the movie came out, I still enjoyed it when I seen it in the movie. Now, the best thing about Kylo Ren taking his own father's life, Han Solo, is it makes Kylo Ren go from a villain that we don't really like to a villain that we all want to see go down. We want the good guys to take vengeance against Kylo Ren in the next movies of the Star Wars franchise. Because up until this point in the movie, I was like, yeah, Kylo Ren's kind of a bad guy, but when he stabs his own father with that triple lightsaber, I'm like, ooh, that fucker's evil. He is pure evil. And that right there showcases that Kylo Ren is a heartless, sinister, evil son of a bitch, and we're all going to hate him as a villain for future installments. And when I see hate, I mean, not in a bad sense like he's a bad character, just like we want to see him go down. We want to see him lose. Now, I do have a few quick criticisms with the Han Solo death scene, and here they are. Now, I know most of you are expecting me to say, the death scene came a little bit too quick, it could have went on a little bit longer, Han Solo shouldn't have just fallen off that platform into the abyss and disappeared forever. Maybe someone could have held him in his arms and kissed him on the forehead and said, goodbye, Han, I'll love you forever. No. This is all I wanted to see. I wanted to see Chewbacca rage out and berserker attack a whole bunch of stormtroopers and just lose his shit because his best friend has just died in front of him. Now, Chewbacca didn't really cry or anything. He did kind of get a little bit angry. He took out his bow saber and he shot it at Kylo Ren, which was really cool and plays out a little bit more in the movie. But I thought that was a perfect scene to showcase how badass and strong Chewbacca really is as a character. Maybe take some stormtroopers and throw them off the platform into the void. Maybe pick some of them up and just punch their head in. I don't know. I just wanted to see Chewbacca lose his shit and go crazy and rage out for a few seconds in the movie. I thought that would have made Chewbacca really stand out in this movie, and we could have got behind that scene and been like, yeah, Chewbacca's a badass. Now let's talk about that father murderer, also known as Kylo Ren, and I love the character of Kylo Ren in this film. Now, was Kylo Ren's character as strong or as badass as Darth Vader? No, he was almost a Darth Vader wannabe. And in this film, is Kylo Ren a perfect villain by any means? No, he has flaws, he has problems. He's not as in control as, say, Darth Vader was in the original trilogy. In this film, when things don't go Kylo Ren's way, well, he's almost like that angry teenager who has problems. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You guys all have that one cousin where when his parents yell at him, he runs upstairs and screams in the bathroom. I know I do. Yeah, my cousin Todd, he's a fucking weirdo. Some of my favorite Kylo Ren scenes in this film are when things aren't going his way. So what does he do? He takes out his triple lightsaber and just starts destroying rooms. And I'm just like, yeah, man, rage out. That's what I would do if I got frustrated enough. And I know my cousin Todd would probably do that because one time he went in the bathroom. This is what this kid did. He went in the bathroom, he took all the toothpaste and he rubbed it all over the mirror. And it's at the end of that scene, it leads into one of the funniest moments in the movie because you see the hallway outside of the room that he's destroying and two stormtroopers walk around the corner. They hear him destroying shit and they turn right back around. And that was hilarious. I love the comedy aspect in this movie. Now, let's talk about the mysterious Luke Skywalker. And do you guys want to know why he wasn't in the trailers for this movie? Well, he's essentially not in the movie. Well, for about 14 seconds at the very end of the movie, he is. Now, am I let down or do I consider that a negative? No, not at all, because I think that was the perfect decision. Save his character for the end. We didn't really need him in the story of Episode 7. And now, after that cliffhanger ending of Episode 7, we're a little bit excited to see Episode 8 and 9 now, pertaining to his character and him doing things. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I do have one complaint about the very ending to this movie, where Rey climbs to the top of that mountain to confront Luke Skywalker. The last shot that you see in Star Wars Episode 7 is this helicopter panning shot around the mountain. And it just really took all the emotion away from both characters. I didn't think it was the best way to close out the film, but the one thing it reminded me of was another movie, and by reminding me of this other movie, well, it just almost made me laugh hysterically. Yeah, that's right. It reminded me of the Rocky IV training montage sequence where Stallone climbs to the top of a mountain and screams, "Draco!" Okay, it's at this point in the video I'm going to go into rapid fire mode and just cover a whole bunch of things I really liked about the movie or noticed. So here it goes. Now, since I didn't talk about the character of BB-8 too much in my non-spoiler review, here it goes. I love the character of BB-8. I thought he was everything he should. He was charismatic, funny, and just having that character in this movie, well, you're gonna sell a shit ton of toys. So as far as the character of BB-8 goes, he served his purpose, he added levity to the film, and one of my favorite scenes containing in the character of BB-8 is when the character of Finn gives him a thumbs up, and then BB-8 has this like robotic thing flip out with a lighter on the end, giving him a thumbs up back, and that was just one of those crowd-pleasing funny moments. So yeah, BB-8, I wanna go buy some BB-8 toys now. The movie did its job. I also really enjoyed the interrogation scene between Kylo Ren and Rey, where she becomes aware of her powers, and Kylo Ren realizes, like, whoa, I'm not the biggest badass in the galaxy anymore. And Rey realizes, wow, she does have some power. And it's also during this scene, at one point, Rey uses the power of the Force to make a stormtrooper release her restraints and let her go. And by the way, on a side note, that stormtrooper is Daniel Craig, 007. So that was kind of a cool cameo, even though he's wearing a stormtrooper costume. Now let's very quickly talk about the character of Snoke in this film, who was a little too CG for my own taste. And what I mean by that is I don't mind motion capture, but the motion capture and CG elements of Snoke in this film just look like they were from like 2002. They just look like PS3 video game graphics. And I don't really think there's much of an excuse for that. Yeah, you can say it's a hologram, and in the Star Wars universe, holograms always are transmitted with crappy, fuzzy data. They don't, like, for some odd reason, they can build Star Destroyers that blow up planets, but their holograms always get bad connection. You guys ever notice that? But as far as the look of Snoke goes, in my opinion, they could have just taken Andy Serkis, added some practical prosthetic effects with a little bit of CGI enhancement. There you go. That would have been much better, and I would have had more of a connection with the character. Because to me, the character of Snoke in this film looks like Freddy Krueger. Oh, and very quickly, there's one more quick thing I wanted to mention. The character of Captain Phasma in this film. Now, keep in mind, this is only the first movie of a trilogy. Here's what you do. You introduce some new characters, you get the audience used to them, you save them for sequels, and then you give them a bigger role. Because had Captain Phasma gotten more screen time in this movie, well, in order to do that, you have to take away screen time from other characters, like Han Solo or Rey or Finn, and I wanted them to have more screen time, so I'm okay with what they did with Captain Phasma. And by the way, I think this was just reported or confirmed tonight, the character Captain Phasma will be in the next episode of Star Wars. So her character's not dead, nor did we ever see her die in Star Wars Episode 7. I never assumed she was dead, because unless we see a character die, they're not dead. That's how Star Wars works. Now, having a lack of the character of Captain Phasma in Star Wars Episode 7 wasn't the internet's largest complaint. You want to know what everyone's largest complaint about this movie is? It's too much like Episode 4. And you know what I have to say to that? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep in mind, this movie really had to set the tone and launch the franchise of Star Wars once again. This is basically a reboot of the Star Wars franchise. So from a studio's perspective, who just spent $4 billion on acquiring the rights to this franchise, they have to play it safe. They had to make this first movie of the franchise kind of relaunch everything, get people introduced to it, and make people fall in love with Star Wars again. And how do you do that? Well, you take kind of one of the basic story outlines of a previous film, you duplicate that, add a whole bunch of new shit to it, and boom, you get Star Wars Episode 7. So to sum up my thoughts on that, I think they were just playing it safe. They were trying to give the fans what they wanted to. They wanted you guys to relive that experience that the first Star Wars gave you. And in my opinion, when it comes to Episode 8 and 9, I don't think they're going to duplicate 5 and 6 with those movies. I think they're going to go into a different direction now. I just feel like for this first movie, they had to play it safe. And speaking of rehashing the same old shit in a Star Wars movie, let's talk about the Star Killer base in Star Wars Episode 7. Because what do we need in all these movies? Well, we need the bad guys to have the biggest gun in the galaxy to feel like they're doing something, and that's their master plan every time. Now, I will give Episode 7 some credit because at points in this movie, characters are self-aware enough to say, oh, another big base that's going to have a gun on it? You know, at one point Han Solo's like, another one? How do we blow it up? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You guys are self-aware, so the movie's aware that it's doing the same shit once again. The good guys come in, they shoot it a few times, and it just completely blows up. But you know what I would have liked to see come out of this? Maybe not completely destroy Starkiller Base. Maybe disable it, maybe destroy half of it. That way it's still there. If they want to save it for future installments, you could come back to that and use it as a plot device. Okay, that time has come, and this is the final thing I want to talk about in Star Wars Episode 7. It's when Kylo Ren fights Rey and Finn in a lightsaber duel. And the best thing I can say about this lightsaber battle is it felt like everyone was fighting for their life. It felt like they were just going all pissed off and angry like, and they didn't know exactly what was going to happen because, well, in a true lightsaber battle, as if I've been in one, you don't know what's going to happen. You're just fighting for your life. And you take things like that and you compare it to the prequel lightsaber fights where everyone feels like they're all hopped up in heroin, jumping around on methamphetamine, and they're superheroes, and they're just flipping all around, doing, like, it's just like, what is that? It's like you guys planned that out. You guys had to practice for 6 weeks before you guys went into battle to do all those flips and fucking cartwheels, and it's just, no. But the one part of this lightsaber battle that sent chills down my spine is you see the lightsaber out in the snow, and Kylo Ren's trying to use the power of the Force to bring it to himself, and then the lightsaber starts shaking, and it goes to Rey. And you're like, Rey's a badass now. So I think that covers all my spoilerish points I wanted to talk about in Episode 7. Now here's my question to you guys. What did you guys think about the movie? Give me some of your spoiler-filled thoughts, your details, your info, and give me some of your theories where you think the franchise is going. Yeah, let me know all those down below. Okay, now it's time to really turn up the metachlorians and let the Force flow through you, and we're gonna open up this Geek Fuel box. Now, what is Geek Fuel? It's a box you sign up for. I'll put the link down below. It's my special link. And if you go through that special link, you get an extra item in your Geek Fuel box. You receive this once a month, and it's filled with all kinds of TV, movie goodies, nerdy stuff, shirts, things like that. So let's open it up. All right, open this up here. Okay, the first thing we have here is this box. Let's check out what's in there. Check it out. It's like a huge Death Star rubberized ball. What you do with this is you can open it up. It's like a mold for a Death Star, so you can pour water in the top of it, close it up, and then come back to the freezer a few hours later, and you have a huge Death Star ice cube. And I don't know about you, but 3 Death Star ice cubes, no more, no less, in my drink will make it that much more delicious. Plus, after you're done with it, you could take it and just throw it at the ground and watch it blow up. Yeah, you'll feel like you're saving the day. Then you have the Geek Fuel magazine right there filled with all kinds of tidbits of information and stuff like that. And I actually put these in the Batman bathroom and read them. Put that over there. Devil Bluff game. It's a $15 value downloadable game. Yeah, so there's that right there. Kind of has a Mario Brothers vibe going on. All right, next up we have this right here. It's 8-bit gift wrapping paper. That is actually essential because Christmas is only a few days away. And what do? Well, I'm one of those guys who go to Walmart at 12 o'clock on Christmas Eve at night to buy all my Christmas presents for my family. Yeah, I might actually use some of this. Ooh, what are these? Look at this. It's liquid candy lightsabers. I'm taking these out right now and I'm eating one. Give me it! Now, they do come with little stickers you can put on the bottom to make them actually look like lightsabers, but I don't got time for that shit. I just want to... How do you eat it? Like, I'm sucking a lightsaber right now. I never thought I'd be able to say that in life. Nor did I want to. Okay, there's some more Star Wars themed stuff in here. We have this BB-8 right here. It's I think it's an eraser. Yeah, there's the BB-8 eraser right there. All right, keep going here. We got, ooh, there's one more. What is this? Bart Simpson's Manual of Mischief. Yeah, I'll just show you guys right here. There's like a picture in there you can take of your muscle to make it look like your butt or something. So just little things like how you can get into trouble and piss people off in life. This is cool. See, these are the kind of books I like. I'm 28 years old. Yeah, look, it comes with like stuff like that in it, like all kinds of things that flip out and like you can like cut and do projects with. So it's kind of neat. I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna have to deal with that later. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we got one more thing in this box, and every single Geek Fuel box comes with one of these. It's a t-shirt. And they're always good quality t-shirts. I like them. Check that out. It's like a Nightmare Before Christmas / Joker thing going on there. So you look at it. I'm digging the shirt. By the way, I like the way that new shirts smell. I don't know why. So anyway, that's Geek Fuel. If you guys want to check it out, go to geekfuel.com/flickpick. And if you go through my special link, which is down below in the description box, you guys get an extra item in your box. So anyway, guys, yeah, leave your thoughts, your opinions down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.